Tammy Abraham to Arsenal, question mark, this January. Then we are talking about your Walcott giving Martinelli his flowers. And obviously, a little bit of Cedric Soares talking how his life was from crossing from Southampton to Arsenal. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys? And where you're watching us from, Rokani David is my name. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, guys, lower right bottom corner, that's the place to be. Smash the subscription button and hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified each and every time I upload a video to this channel. Now, looks like it's all rosy for the Arsenal fans all over the world. Reason being, they're on top of the league and they are so much into the January transfer market. When you look at what Arsenal is being linked to, looks like Arsenal is looking in for a centre forward, another wide player, and a CDM, and maybe a central defender. So looks like Arsenal want to reinforce hugely into the January transfer window. So Rokan David is my name, and let's get straight into this. Now, when you look at Tottenham Hotspur and Arsenal last season, the reason as to why Tottenham Hotspur qualified ahead of Arsenal to complete fourth into the Premier League to go on and play into the UEFA Champions League, it's because they brought in two players. That is Bentancur and Kulusevski. Arsenal never brought in any player after the departure of their captain Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang to Barcelona, meaning that things were not all okay and they would have gone to go on and really bring in a player. Mikel Arteta wanted to go on and bring in Dusan Vlahovic, who was by then playing for Fiorentina, and Dusan Vlahovic said, no, I'm not coming to your side. I'm obviously going to play for a side which goes by the names of Juventus, and this is where he is. And Arsenal said, we aren't going to go on and really bring in a striker that we don't want. We are going to go on for the real striker. They went in for Gabriel Jesus, £45 million, with £5 million add-ons from Man City to Arsenal, of which has come out and really did lots of good things for Arsenal, and I believe he's really the pinnacle of the success of Arsenal that they're celebrating today. Now, when you look at Arsenal, they are really lacking another centre forward. Do you know why? Eddie Nketiah is not trusted. Why isn't he not trusted? Every time Arsenal looks like he's looking for a goal, the manager doesn't go in to bring in a player who goes by names of Eddie Nketiah. Looks like he brings like Fabio Vieira and very many others, meaning that Arsenal need another different striker altogether. I even saw Robbie of OFTB coming out and really saying that he would prefer to get in Ivan Toney or a Tammy Abraham, a striker whose aerial prowess is going to be a threat to the forwards, because it's not that every game we are going to win it creating chances like Arsenal has been scoring. That's it. You need to have a striker who is like a bully. When you look at Tammy Abraham, he's a bully who can come up and really do some good things for Arsenal. And I believe him crossing to Arsenal will be a very good deal for him. And obviously, we've been told about this deal that he might join Arsenal in January by Masagero in there. For Yasuo, that's that Roma could be prepared to sell Tammy Abraham in January for the right price, with Arsenal claiming to remain keen on landing him. Abraham has struggled with form and has only scored 3 times in the Serie A this season. So, Tammy Abraham to Arsenal. I believe there is a vacuum for him to fill at Arsenal. He has a very big role to come on and play at Arsenal, and him coming back in London would be something great for him, because most English players don't like to play away from home. But the amount of money they are going to pay for this player to go on and really return to London, can Arsenal go out and really cough close to £50 million? Because I believe at all they can amount all average £50 million they can get in this player. And this player would also love to go on and play at Arsenal. The project at Arsenal is very much convincing, and I believe every time he comes in at Arsenal, that will mean Eddie Nketiah is going to be a third fiddle striker. And to me, I've always told you, the viewers of Rokani Media Football, that Eddie Nketiah is really a very good striker, but Mikel Arteta did it just for precaution, to go on and really find means of really convincing him to stay and really get some good money out of him, because they gave him a 5-year contract at Arsenal, meaning that they knew that at time X, he won't be part of the plan, and Mikel Arteta would go on and really sell him at like 30 or 40 million pounds and then get in another striker, because teams like West Ham were in need of his signature, and I believe if at all they are going to put him on market, he's going to go on and really earn some good money for Arsenal, like 30 or 40 million pounds. Reason being, he has gone ahead to show us that he can really score goals when you get him on the field of play. He scored that very beautiful goal against Brighton in the Carabao Cup, where Arsenal was knocked out by Brighton 3-1. He scored in the game of FC Zurich away. He scored, I think, was it Omonia at Omonia at Emirates, and I believe he has like 4 goals in him for Arsenal. So to me, I believe he won't like it when Tammy Abraham comes in through. But Tammy Abraham is obviously a better striker than Edin Ketia. What makes him a better striker? His height. He's a bully. He's a beast at the club. So to me, 100% believe he is really one of those strikers that will come in and really make things great for Arsenal. Having scored 3 goals in the Serie A, that's not a problem for him, because at Chelsea, especially when Frank Lampard granted him the opportunity to go on and really play as a centre forward in that first season, he really went ahead to score close to 14 goals in his entire Premier League season, meaning that he can go on and really score goals for you if at all you create them. And you might need him, like in the game of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Arsenal would have gone in and said, all right, let's sacrifice one of the midfielders and then get on Tammy Abraham on the field of play, then play with 2 centre forwards. Obviously, the system shifts from a 4-2-3-1 to a 4-1-3-2 because you are in need of a goal, meaning that you'll be having Gabriel Jesus and Tammy Abraham to lead the line, meaning that Gabriel Jesus will always drift left, right, and centre, and Tammy Abraham will be the pinnacle or the pivotal or the focal point of Arsenal's attack in that, meaning that that can go on and act very well because crosses will be welcomed very well, and Arsenal can also go long with that ball over the top to go on and really look for Tammy Abraham. And I believe Tammy Abraham is really a very good player who can get everything done in the air, and his aerial prowess is not bad. Even down on his footwork, he's not bad. His skill set is not bad. That's why I believe Arsenal should go on and really get him in. Then we've been told by the same journalist, Masagero, as far as Tammy Abraham to Arsenal is concerned, that Chelsea have an 80 million euro buyback option for Tammy Abraham next summer, but they are not expected to trigger the clause at the end of the season. Roma could cash in this winter for the right price, but a sale for the 25-year-old is more likely in the summer. So, there is something I read about Jose Mourinho, talking about his magic and blessings in having African players leading the line. At FC Porto, when he won the Champions League, he had Ben McCarthy coming in from South Africa. At Chelsea, he got a lot of success with Didier Drogba leading his line, coming in from Ivory Coast. He was an African player. At Real Madrid, he went ahead and signed Adebayo. I think, on loan from Man City, and he had him. You remember that very well. At Inter Milan, he won the Champions League with Samuel Eto'o leading the line with Diego Milito. You know that very well. When we turned at Manchester United, he had all the mantle to go on and sign a centre forward known as Lukaku, who is a Congolese coming from Africa but plays for Belgium, meaning that everything he has got in world football, it has been because of the African players. At AS Roma, he went in for Tammy Abraham, and Tammy Abraham really had a very fantastic season in his debut season for a team which goes by the names of AS Roma. So I don't believe that he will throw him under the bus and sell him. But you can't rule it out totally because he's having Belotti, and he's having Dybala. These two can help you get the goals that you want at a team which goes by the names of AS Roma. So you can't rule it out that it can happen, but it depends on how much Arsenal is going to put on the table. But Chelsea can't go in and really pay 80 million euros to buy Tammy Abraham. I believe there is Trossard, a player that Graham Potter would love a lot because he was managing him at Brighton and is really destroying very many teams. And very many other strikers that is going to go on and look at. Look at Harry Kane. By the end of this summer, by the end of this season, he's going to be left with 1 year on his contract at Spurs. What does that mean? Teams like Chelsea can go in and cash in for him. So Chelsea are not going to go in for Tammy Abraham. He's not into that blistering form that you can go on and say, oh, if I don't really get him, he will go in another team and really hurt me. I don't believe he's at that level, because even Aubameyang, I believe, is a better striker than Tammy Abraham at Chelsea. So Chelsea is out of this equation, and I believe Arsenal are the ones that can go in and cash in for this striker. They're telling us that his sale is more likely in the summer. I believe even in January, Arsenal can go and get him. They can get him, provided Jose Mourinho really wants him to go. And even if the player comes in and tells Mourinho that, please, I want to go to Arsenal, he'll let him go. He has Belotti and Dybala who can get the job done, and they need that money to sign in other players, especially in January, because reinforcement is needed. Jose Mourinho is in the UEFA Europa League, but being in the UEFA Europa League, there are a lot of big teams that is going to face. If at all you are losing Tammy Abraham, you need to go on and reinforce, and even if you are having him, you need to again really add in more strikers in your team. So Arsenal are really looking at very many things. You bring in Tammy Abraham, it really puts you into that title contention more and more and more. Reason being, he can really be a different kind of striker. Not every time you're going to play that tiki-taka football. That's why you saw to it that when teams like Southampton come in with the bullism, Arsenal is really overpowered, because Gabriel Jesus is not that kind of striker to go on and really go high. Tammy Abraham can come in and really gets you that aerial threat, and obviously he's a bully, he's fast, he runs hard, and I believe whenever Arsenal is really searching for a win, having Tammy Abraham and Gabriel Jesus leading the line would be an overdose to the opponents of Arsenal that they will be facing. Not so. So let's wait and see what Tammy Abraham to Arsenal is really going to be all about in the January transfer window. But we are being told by Messaggero coming in from Roma, and you should respect this story because this is a close source coming in from Roma, and he knows exactly what is cooking inside the club, and maybe Jose Mourinho might be looking at another player to come in and really get the job done at Arsenal. Now, you know, Cedric Soares is really that Arsenal right back, and he has went ahead to tell us that when I first arrived in the UK with Southampton, my father said I would play for Arsenal. We came to watch a game here at Emirates. My father turned to my agent and said, this is the place where you need to bring my son. And obviously it happened, though he really came in his late 20s, and I believe he's out of the plan for Mikel Arteta. To me, I believe he's one of those players that Arteta is going to offload in the summer to go on and really sign another right back at Arsenal. That's it. Because I believe that Arsenal might turn Tomiyasu into a central defender. And one will ask, Rokani, how do you turn Tomiyasu into a central defender? That means you don't watch football of his national duties when he's on his national duties. Watch the World Cup, see where Tomiyasu is going to play for Japan. He plays as a centre back. He's really great. And that's why you saw in the games of the UEFA Europa League, Arteta went in for back three when Tomiyasu is playing as a central defender. He's really great playing as a central defender, and you can't doubt his efforts to go on and really get that job done. So I think Cedric Soares is in his way hours or in his last days for Arsenal. Obviously, Mikel Arteta is going to offload him because of his age, and he's going to get another player who is going to get the business very, very done for Arsenal there for you. After Cedric Soares saying that, then to your quote on Gabriel Martinelli, I have been impressed. I've been impressed by him from day one. He had a big injury when he first came, but he has obviously got into the Brazilian squad, and that is not easy. So you have got to credit him. Sorry about that. Theo Walcott has given Martinelli his flowers, and obviously he has given him some great courage. Martinelli is really a very good player. He has played some good football this season, and ever since last season, I think it was a game of Newcastle when Bukayo Saka got an injury and he came on and played on the right wing, and he scored that beautiful goal where Tomiyasu chipped that ball to him and he really scored brilliantly. He has never looked back in his efforts on the field of play whenever he's playing for Arsenal. And this season, he has been marvelous and great. He has netted in very many goals, put in some assists and secondary assists for Arsenal, and him going into the World Cup in the Brazilian squad has earned him bragging rights. That's why you see Theo Walcott is also mentioning it, because Brazil is one of the countries that is multi-talented, all filled with football talents. And when you make it to the 26 players in the World Cup, you just have to go on and celebrate. And for Martinelli, who at a point X never knew that he would ever get into this team, and he's in it right now, obviously needs to go on and really celebrate him because he has really worked hard for it. So Martinelli, to me, he's a very good player, one of the most improved players under Mikel Arteta. But let's wait and see how he's going to perform in the World Cup, because he needs to go on and offload Vinicius Jr. from that position if it's to go on and really make a very huge impact. Thank you guys for watching in. Smash the like button, comment and share. Rokani David is my name. Tell me what you think about Tammy Abraham to Arsenal in January, and Martinelli given his flowers by Theo Walcott and Cedric Soares, explaining to us when and how and who really alerted him, all prophesy to him that he'll one day play for a team which goes by the names of Arsenal. I sign out for now. See you later. I hand you over in the safe hands of the Lord to protect you and watch you over the night.